I remember being 10 or 11 years old. I was outside in the front yard with my mother, as she screamed, pleaded, and cried with a man from the water company to not shut the water off. She called him dirty names. She asked him what kind of monster would shut off water to a house with 3 children. Generally, a water company would never shut off water to a house with children in it. So that's saying something about the state of our debt. The man went to the truck, got out a long set of rods that connected together with a nut driver on the end, and stuck it down in a small pipe in the front yard. Turned it a few times, and our water was shut off. My mother cried, screamed, begged, until the man got into his truck and turned the corner. She immediately stopped crying, walked into the house, came out with her own long set of extension poles with a nut driver on the front, turned the water back on, and went in to watch television. I'm telling you this because although me and Jason are firmly in the middle class, I can still identify as poor white trash. It's not a badge of honor, but more of an air that floats around me, and floats around other people. You recognize it. No matter how high you climb in life, it'll always stick to you like an aura of past due bills and Newport smoke. Why is it I'm talking about being poor white trash? Because when I started today's movie, 2005's Pride and Prejudice, I expected some things. I expected hoity-toity rich people, large gatherings where everybody's wearing way too much clothing. I expected English accents thick enough that I'd have to rewatch the beginning of the movie a few times to understand it. What I did not expect was to see the Bennett family, an entire family of poor white trash. Anytime I've ever tried to explain my own family, I always said it was like the television show Shameless, but without any of the pretty people. Now when I explain my childhood, I'm going to say it was something right out of a Jane Austen novel. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
The Bennetts have got big balls. Mr. Bingley's got big balls. But Dame Judy fucking Dench has got the biggest balls of all. Welcome to You Got Mails, everybody. We're back, baby. I'm here with CJ. I'm Jason. Let's talk Pride and Prejudice 2005.
Actually, hold on. I have to go ahead and cross out about 7 of my jokes here that all the big
I got
balls.
ball jokes for days. So many balls in this movie.
I'm just kidding. I don't write down jokes. That would actually make this like I prepared. How are you, man? Before we even get into this, it's been a couple weeks.
I'm good. Yeah, I had to move, so I had a lot of things going on. No time. A lot of packing. I got kicked out of my apartment, basically.
Well, we should probably reference this. That's because they want to remodel it, not because you're a scuzzball or something.
No, I'm not a delinquent of any kind. Yeah, I kind of got the bum's rush and was told to get out of my apartment.
It was a surprise eviction, so you can say you've been evicted now.
I have been evicted, and it was surprising, but all good now. Found a nice place in a nicer neighborhood, the central air and a dishwasher, and I'm very content.
Nice.
I feel like Mr. Darcy. I'm living in a palatial estate.
No, his dishwasher had a name. That's the difference.
Jesus.
Your dishwasher's a Kenmore.
So is mine. It's Maytag.
Yeah.
But yes, I've moved. How are you?
I'm good, man. I've just been busy as hell. It's been a hellish couple of weeks of work.
Yeah, it's right. You wouldn't think like just having to watch one movie and talk about it for about an hour is like that hard to fit into a week, but sometimes it's fucking hard.
Seriously, man.
like there are weeks where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
Like when
I'm so fucking busy.
That's some adult shit. Like I'm plotting out like 2 hours. I'm like 2 hours. I can fit 2 hours in right here. Yeah. You know what? I just won't sleep Wednesday night. Yeah. We'll do this.
Yeah, that's why like when I see the links to some of these movies, and I saw this one was like a little over 2 hours, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, how do I do it? What do I do?
But
here we are.
Yeah, the hellish part's not over, but I got a 3-day weekend.
We've prided and we've prejudiced, and now it's time to talk about it.
Fuck. Sorry, Susie.
What?
We really should have had our literary expert in on this one.
You know what? From what I understand, so there are multiple versions of this story put to film. This is kind of like the Cliff Notes version.
Oh.
Like there's the 5 or 6 part miniseries that is like way more truer to the books. This one was kind of like modernized is the right word, but like kind of streamlined and like made so that like a younger audience could understand it and
I'm okay with
get on board with it.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like I got the right amount.
Yeah. So
like it's not bad. It's just I got the right amount.
So I know our good friend and loyal listener Liam from Fright Pub is real big on the Pride and Prejudice miniseries.
Yeah.
And we've got our literary expert Susie I'm thinking maybe like, and we're going to need time because this is a 5-part miniseries, but like maybe at some point we can get a little round table together.
Yeah.
And do like a little Pride and Prejudice, once we get big enough where we have like a Patreon or something, we'll branch out and we'll do like a special like
I like that idea.
long episode, and we'll do a little round table on the miniseries. Or we'll do a 5-part episode, on each one. Who knows?
Yeah. You know what we're going to do tonight is piss off a lot of people that might have read this book.
Why?
Because I don't know how many times did you have to rewind it in the first 20 minutes just to try to get on the train. Like, I felt like it was a train that just kept passing me.
No.
And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. Why are they calling him Mr. Bennett? It took me a while to realize that you just always call the guy of the house Mr. something, whether you're married to him or not.
Yeah.
Which, like, if I asked my wife to call me Mr. McDermott, it would be over. Like, it would be, Mr. McDermott, please leave this fucking house.
I guess everybody calls him that. But yeah, let's get into it. We might have different opinions on this, because I was able to get into it relatively easily and quickly and without much issue. But this movie is obviously based on a novel by Jane Austen.
Yes.
I'd never read the novel. I've never seen any of these film adaptations. I tried to watch Pride and Prejudice and Zombies once.
Made it about 10 minutes in.
Yeah, couldn't get all the way through. It's not a very good movie. I tried to read the book Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Didn't get all the way through that. And my knowledge of Pride and Prejudice comes from the movie Austenland. But like...
Which is, like, Pride and Prejudice is a prequel to Austenland, right?
It might as well be.
Do not watch Austenland.
But, like, this movie is... Or this... I shouldn't even say this movie. This story, this book, is ingrained in, like, pop culture enough that, like, I know who Mr. Darcy is. I know he's kind of a jerk and he's kind of aloof.
I had no idea that he invented emo.
Yeah, he's kind of emo. I know that, like, it's about a family with, like, a bunch of daughters. Like, I know the bare bones of it. Like, I knew of it, and I know, like, some of the story, but I don't know. This was kind of new to me. I didn't know where it was going.
Yeah. I will say, I think part of the awesome part of this podcast is we're getting to know the feminine side of things a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that was the exact goal, but I know enough that if I had a wife and 5 daughters, that I'd throw myself off of a building. Like, that seems like hell on earth. Like, you're just surrounded by women at all times. Seems terrible.
Mr. Bennett doing a great job. I thought he was a good dad.
I mean, Donald Sutherland could act his way out of anything.
He could. But this movie focuses mainly on Elizabeth Bennet, played by Keira Knightley, who is... And then, like, the other sisters have, like, varying degrees of importance. Like, the one is basically an afterthought. One is kind of a big part of the story as well. The other 2 are just kind of there. One moves the plot along a little bit.
Yeah.
I assume that all these girls had a lot more to work with in the novel, and that's why there's a 5-part miniseries. But...
Considering how the youngest 3 act in this, I'm hoping part of the novel is them going to AA. Because there is a point where I was like, are they drunk all the time?
They're a wild bunch.
Yeah.
But the movie starts out with, like, a long shot, which nothing gets me more excited. And I think I've told you this before. In any kind of movie or television where they do, like, a one-take shot, there's about 3 in this movie that just had me fucking excited. Like... I just think it's so cool because there's so many moving parts that go into something like this.
Yes.
And to pull it off, I think is just an amazing feat. So the first shot of this movie is Elizabeth walking home. She's reading a book, which it's the late 1700s, so you know she's a rebel. They probably thought she was a witch because she could read. She's reading a book. She walks through.
That's great.
And
what is that? Those are letters. Burn her!
Yeah, I feel like they put a book in her hand just so we go, ooh, she's edgy.
Yeah.
But she's walking back to, like, their family estate, and you get this shot of her walking down this long path to the front door. She makes a right. We go in through the front door. We meet all the other sisters. You go room to room. There's a dog in this scene, which
yes,
amazed me just because, like, you had to get this dog to go exactly because, like, the dog, like. One of the girls, like, shoos the dog in through the door into the house. It runs through a room, runs out of another room. They sweep around, look out a window. Now the dog's running through the yard with the girl behind it. And I'm like, this dog is a great fucking actor. Because, like, you can't corral dogs like this and just to get all this in one shot.
Not the dogs you know. Hollywood dogs are different, man.
But you meet the sisters. Like, there's, and God forbid, I'll probably forget one. But there's Elizabeth, and we see Jane inside, who Jane's the oldest daughter, and she's
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike. She's kind of like the catch of the family. Like, this whole movie is all about the mom trying to marry all these girls off. Jane's like the prized possession that they want to get rid of. Elizabeth is like the runner-up prize.
Yeah. I realized, I kept looking at Rosamund Pike, and I'm like, I don't like her. She was making me angry.
Is it because you saw Gone Girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what it was. I was like, why do I just naturally hate this woman? And then I had to look up who it is. I was like, oh, it's the girl from Gone Girl.
Yeah, she's great, but yeah.
I got over it pretty quick.
All right, so we get to meet her. There's two middle daughters. It's Lydia and Kitty, who are just kind of like the loud...
the drunks.
Are they drunk or are they just young teen girls?
No,
like they're tween girls, so they're always like screaming and excited.
They seem very like drunk.
And then there's Mary, who's like the youngest daughter, who plays the piano and is just kind of a stick in the mud. They almost cut her out of this movie. Like they cut all of her scenes and decided not to. She doesn't do much.
No, she basically reacts to things. I don't know if she even really has lines.
She has a couple. And then they pan around to another room where we meet Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. And it's Donald Sutherland plays the dad. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I was shocked to see him. And we get a little bit of exposition where the mom is telling him that someone has bought, I believe it's like Neverwind Manor, Neverland Ranch. I don't know. They bought something. Some very wealthy fella is moving in to this estate, and he's single, and he makes a lot of money. And he's going to have to want to marry one of the daughters. Like, it's just like a thing where... Mom's
got a full-time job, it is marrying these girls off.
This is one of those things where, like, it was a lot of arranged marriages or just,
status is what it was all about.
Yeah, you had to, like, find a guy to, like, offload one of your daughters so that, like, she would be well taken care of and that she could have... Because this whole thing is very weird. Like, they own, like, a big estate, but it's all girls, so they won't give any of them the house. So we find out later there's, like, this guy, cousin... Who they never ever see, who actually is going to inherit the house whenever they die. So they got to get these girls out of the house, because once mom and dad die, they're probably homeless. Like, this new guy's going to take the house.
Well, you do see him. He shows up.
Yeah, you see him.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm saying, like, they'll get kicked out of it. They'll have nowhere to go.
Yes.
If they die. So they're like, all right, we got to get our girls set up with, we're not paying for college tuition and sending you off. We're going to find you a man and get you married. And the girls over here, and they're all excited. So they're going to have there's going to be a big ball. And they're going to invite Mr. Bingley, is the guy buying the house, to this big ball. So we go to the ball, and there's a lot of like old-timey dancing, like what the fuck, I don't know how they dance.
You can smell this room. Like, they put some effort in. These people are sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
They are all slamming into each other. It looks like a mosh pit. Like, I was a little bit like, this seems fun if they had better music. But then, like, you could just tell, like, the showers were a rarity back then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just imagine in, like, late 1700s England, like, everybody stunk.
Oh, God, they're probably just people in the rafters spraying perfume down kind of thing. Yeah.
It's gross. The guys are all wearing powdered wigs. Like, it's just... like tweed.
Everybody's got 12 layers on. It's 95 degrees.
Yeah, they didn't know what shorts were at the time.
Yes.
It's gross. But they're all having like a raucous time and they're dancing. And then there's like, if there was a record, it would have scratched because like everybody just fucking stops. And like, because Mr. Bingley walks in and he's there with his sister and this real grumpy looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mr. Darcy.
I don't see it, man. I guess I know he's supposed to be the love interest, but like...
The ladies love Mr. Darcy from everything I've heard and understand. Like, this guy is up there as like the top... Like, this is one of those like dream romances.
Top stoic, sort of...
Yeah, you want that guy who seems like a real dick, but he's actually secretly in love with you, and he acts like an asshole until he finally breaks down and tells you. And then he gives you a ton of money and lets you move into his giant mansion.
And then you never speak to each other again, even though you're married.
Yeah. But the whole party just stops, and they just strut right through everybody. Like, the crowd separates, and they walk all the way to the front, up onto a stage. They turn around, and then everybody's like, okay, party's back on, and they all get back together, and they start dancing. We see that Mrs. Bennett wants to gather all the daughters and go introduce them to Mr. Bingley. So she gets all the girls together, and they go up, and they all make their introductions. And again, Bingley's a nice guy. Like, seems like a nice guy, friendly, says hello to everybody. There's obviously an immediate spark between him and Jane. the oldest daughter.
He's kind of got a wild look to him. His hair is all like
He's got like a bright red mohawk.
Yeah. Like he looks like Ed Sheeran's cooler and lamer cousin all at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. But they do the introductions, and then again, Darcy is just kind of there, just like mean mugging everybody, and doesn't really say hello. He's just kind of a dick.
It makes you wonder, why the hell is he there to begin with? Like, I know, like I had to read into it a little bit that there's a whole storyline with him and the sister that they were supposed to get together. Bingley's sister.
Oh, okay.
Like, she was kind of hunting for him as a status thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's playing the game, I should say.
Okay.
And but I'm like, why is this guy, like, he is no fun to have at a party. Like, why is he even there?
But you hear from, like, other people that are, like, know him talk highly of him. Like, later on, his one buddy tells Elizabeth, like, he's the most loyal friend you could ever have. So, like,
I've winged man for my buddies before. And, like,
we see what he ends up doing in the movie. Like, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's just, I mean, I have theories, which I'll get to later in my grand gestures, but we'll talk about it at the end. But we get a lot of, like, little intercut, like, scenes at the ball. People talking about different things. Like, Bingley is talking to Jane, and, like, they're starting to really hit it off. We find out that the military is coming to town. Like, the younger girls or the middle daughters are talking about how the regiment is coming, and they're all excited because there's going to be a bunch of, like, new guys in town.
Yeah, basic officers.
Yeah, a bunch of officers. There's a lot of dancing. Like, Jane dances with Mr. Bingley a lot. Elizabeth asks Mr. Darcy if he likes to dance, and he says he doesn't dance. He's just like...
he says, not if I can help it.
Yeah, not if I can help it. I don't dance.
Like, that's what I wrote. I was like, dude, you're making it too awkward, bud. Like, just chill out.
Maybe you should have just stayed the fuck home.
Yeah. You got Keira Knightley asking you to dance. You just put a couple feet out there, all right?
And there's just, like, shot after shot. Like, it'll be... everybody's having a good time, and then there's just a shot of Mr. Darcy looking like somebody took the biggest shit in his Wheaties, just like angrily, like scowling across the room.
Do you know who? Have you watched Succession?
No, but I know he's in it. I heard he was
plays
in it.
A main character in it, and I'm about halfway through season 2, and boy, there are some fellatio things going on around this guy's character that I could not unsee the whole time I was watching this movie.
Well, I'm glad I don't watch Succession then. That could have ruined it for me. There's a point where Lizzie and Jane... no, I don't think it is. It's Lizzie and this girl named Charlotte, who plays a part later. One of their, like, a family friend. They're under what appear to be bleachers. I couldn't tell. They're underneath some kind of seating at the ball, and they overhear Bingley and Darcy talking, and Bingley's talking about Jane, and he says to Darcy, he brings up Elizabeth, and she seems like a nice woman, and he talks about how she's not completely intolerable, but, like, she's not as handsome as Jane.
Handsome's a big word here. This actually, I was like, wow, they were doing the Don John thing back in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Like, this is the exact scene from Don John, where they're sitting there like, oh, she's a 10, check it out,
And he actually calls Elizabeth, he says she's barely tolerable, is what he says to Bingley. And Lizzie overhears this. And
I wrote, ooh, 18th century burn.
Yeah. And then we get, like, a little bit later, they're all standing around talking. They're talking about a guy that Jane had dated and was actually engaged to before, and he wrote her some nice poetry. And Darcy talks about how poetry can just completely, like, ruin... Or, I'm sorry, Elizabeth says that poetry can ruin a relationship. And Darcy, he enjoys poetry, so he's kind of defending it. And he asks Lizzie, like, what, if not poetry, then, what gets you a partner? Like, what can you do to impress a woman, basically? And she says, I prefer dancing, even if your partner is barely tolerable. And he, she gives him that fucking 17th century burn mic drop right back and just walks off. And, he's kind of like, oh, this girl's got some... She's a spitfire. She's got some pizzazz.
Heck yeah, man. I like that. She is very... I mean, hell, we're going to just keep talking about old episodes here, but she's got that Easy A vibe. Like,
she's the smartest girl in the room at all times, and she's got a bunch of, like, great one-liners.
Yes.
And she doesn't lose an argument. Like, if you start something with Elizabeth Bennet, like, she's going to clap back, and it's going to be all over for you. Like, you're done. Like, it's all
She's
over.
packing.
Yeah. Next day, Jane gets a letter from Neverfield Hall, but it's from the sister. and she's asking Jane to come and have dinner with her. And Jane asks if she can borrow the carriage, and Mom says no. You'll take a horse. You'll ride horseback. And then we cut to like a little bit later, and it's pouring down rain, and Mom is essentially like, the plan worked. There's no way she can come back tonight. She's going to have to stay the night there.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was some times where I'm like, what's the mom's play here?
Oh, she's crafty.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah. Although so they get a letter back, and it's Jane, and she's caught like a really bad cold. Like she shows up at the door and sneezes immediately, and she's drenched.
Yes.
And they let her in, and then they get a letter from Jane saying that she's sick and she has to stay there for a while. And I'm like, not knowing this story, I'm like, did the mom just like fucking kill her daughter? Because like 17th century, like 1700s, you could fucking die from a cold.
Yes.
Like maybe making her like take a horse in the rain wasn't the best idea.
I actually sort of thought this might be the end of her.
Like we send the daughter there and she fucking dies. and
then Bingsley is like all about Keira Knightley and you know, it's like a love triangle thing.
Yeah, it could have played, well, I mean, not really a triangle because the other one's dead.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a love triangle.
I was saying Mr. Darcy would be the other point of the triangle.
Oh, I gotcha. So we find out, you know, Jane has to stay there for a while. Lizzie goes to visit, and we see like the butler comes in. He's like, Miss Elizabeth Bennet here, and he takes her in, and Mr. Darcy's there, and he gives like a weird, awkward like bow, and like this guy is just awkward as fuck the entire time, like.
Oh, incredibly!
But he does a really good job, like. I like this guy's performance a lot because, like, you can tell he's into her and, like, doesn't know what to do. Like, he's so confused by it. So, like,
That's a good point. I do like that. That's a good definition of it is
he's very short with her and he's very awkward, but, like, you can sense that he is interested in her even through all that. Like, it's more or less like an awkwardness and, like, a not knowing how to handle it thing than anything.
She will be my property.
But she takes her up to see, or she goes up to see Jane, who's sick in a bed, and Bingley comes in and talks about how it's been his pleasure to have her there, and that, you know, they're so thankful that he's been taking such good care of her. Then we get like a scene with Mom, like talking to the dad again, like talking about how her plan's working out perfectly, and like this is all going according to plan.
Now 2 daughters are dying in that house over there.
Yeah. Rest of the girls go into town to see all the troops march in.
Yeah.
And like it's just like this big parade, and they're like basically like catcalling all the troops. And
they got plans and schemes.
They're picking out the cute ones and what's going on. We see, you know, Lizzie's still there visiting, and it seems like she's staying there too almost because I think a day has gone by at least.
I think this is the way that like the rich people worked back then is like you just go places and you stay there for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and there's multiple times in this like their aunt and uncle shows up and they're just. This is where you live now.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable. I think it's just such a pain in the ass to get anywhere that once you get there, you're like, I'm not heading home tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to stay here and you're going to feed me for a couple weeks.
Yeah. We see Lizzie is in like a sitting room with Darcy and Bingley's sister, Miss Bingley. And they're just kind of talking. Like, we find out that Darcy has a sister who's like very accomplished. And there's this whole thing about how, you know, what makes a woman accomplished, and they've got pretty high standards for what a woman needs to do to be like an accomplished woman because like they're like she needs to be able to read.
Yeah, but first she's got to be a 10.
She's got to read. She
got to be able to touch her toes when she bends over like that.
She plays an instrument. She draws, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Lizzie's...
But not college educated. Those are fucking witches.
No. Bad hair. And Lizzie's just again like just giving Darcy shit about like, oh, you know, it'd be impossible for you to know any woman like that and all, you know, all these things. And she gives it as good as he gives it. You know what I mean? Like there's this like back and forth where it's like almost like she's like,
it's like a sparring match.
Earning his respect by being so forthright and kind of just fighting back against everything he says.
And I looked this up later because this is in this scene. They go into the part where Bingley's sister is basically trying to like force her out of the situation, and she does this weird thing. She's like, "Let's walk about the room."
Yeah, they just stroll around the room,
and it'd be like me and you just walking across our living room back and forth, or the living room over and over again. It was very odd, and it's like they're having a private conversation, but they're still in the room with everybody else.
Yeah, well, they're going. If they go outside to walk, they could die. But like, there's stuff out there that'll kill you.
That's true.
It's not like today.
I looked it up. I was reading a little bit about this. I guess the Bennetts, even though they're poor, are of a higher stature than the Bingleys.
Bingley, yeah.
Yeah, they're of like a higher stature. So.
Really?
It's weird because, like, so one family is rich, but they're a little bit lower class, and then the Bennetts are higher class but poor, so they're kind of on the same footing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, because, like, it's funny because they treat the Bennetts like they aren't of the same stature or wealth, but, like, they have a big estate, they have a bunch of help, they have, like...
Exactly.
But there's even a point where, you know, somebody says something about who cooked this meal, like inferring that it was one of the family members, and Miss Bennett almost takes offense and is like, well, "We have a cook. Like, you know, we're not poor. We have people that help us." I thought this was a very funny. Like, I actually laughed out loud at this because when Elizabeth first comes and the butler comes in, he goes, Miss Bennett, here to see you." Well, they're all in the little sitting room, and this is after they go for the little stroll around the room, and the guy comes in again, and he goes, "Miss Bennett, Miss Bennett, Miss Bennett, Miss Bennett, and a Miss Bennett here to see you." Because, like, the mom and all the girls come in, and they're basically just there, like, to pressure Bingley into having a ball. Like, they're saying that, the militia's coming, and there's all these lieutenants and soldiers in town, and, someone of your stature should really have a big event. And he's just, like, trying to impress the family because he's into Jane. So he's like,
yes,
absolutely. Like, I'll have a big banger
Let's
of a party.
rock.
Yeah.
My cousin Donnie's got this band.
so he agrees to have the party. We go back to the Bennett house, and Mrs. Bennett tells the help they're going to need to set another setting at the table because they're going to have some family. I think she says, like, our family's going to grow by one. And they talk about how their cousin, Mr. Collins, is coming to visit. And this is where we find out this is the guy who is actually set to inherit the home.
Yes.
Because they don't have a male heir. So it goes to, like, I guess, the next closest thing, which is, like, this male cousin. So we meet Mr. Collins. I don't know what to think about Mr. Collins. What do you think about this guy?
He reminded me of, you ever see Men in Black? Edgar suit?
Yeah.
He felt like Edgar suit, like the guy, an alien trapped inside of a weird guy's body.
He's super socially awkward. I don't think this guy is a bad guy by any means. Like, I don't think he means anybody harm. I don't think that he's, like, has, like, bad intentions. He's just, he gives you the ick. He
would be like when you were growing up and you had your little buddy friend group. He'd be in the group, but he'd be the guy that everybody, like, gives shit about.
Yeah, you don't talk about him when he's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
But we find out that he's, like, a pastor, and he's not, like, wealthy by any means. He lives in, like, he has, like, his own little estate home. It's nothing, like, big, but it's butted up against Lady Catherine de Burgh, I think, who's, like, a big deal. And, like, she has kind of taken him under her wing, it seems.
He's in, like, Elon's guest house.
Yeah, but so he's kind of, like, up there by association, or at least he likes to say that he is. But he comes for dinner, and he goes on, and he's just this guy who just won't shut up, and he's very awkward. He gives, like, these awkward compliments to everyone. He talks like he's, like, a big ladies' man almost. Like, he's talking about how he likes to compliment women, but, like, the compliments are, like, very awkward and, like, just weird.
I know exactly what to say to women at the exact right time.
Yeah.
And they're even like, well, do you pre-plan this? Do you make it up? He's like, I do what feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of dinner, he's like, I'd really like to read to you all for an hour or two after dinner. And I'm like, oh, fuck this guy.
I mean, back then, though, that might as well have been a movie. That was Marvel.
Yeah, you're right.
Somebody reading
Not
to
when
you.
This guy's reading it, though.
I remember...
It's more like Sharknado.
Little history thing I remember is back then orators, somebody that could talk for hours on end.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal.
Oh, really?
Like the Gettysburg Address is 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And people stood there in shock and awe for the entire thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that because back then, what were you going to do? Go watch your kids die?
Yeah,
like that was it. That was the only thing you could do.
Yeah. didn't have all those streaming services we have now.
Yeah, like hunt cats to eat.
Couldn't sit down for 2 hours and watch Pride and Prejudice.
Yep.
You had to read that shit.
You had to write it or read it. That was it.
But after dinner, we find out that, Mr. Collins has Mrs. Bennet off to the side, and he tells her that, he's got this estate home now, and Lady Catherine feels like he should find a wife, and that's what he's here to do, is to claim one of the Bennet sisters. And
one of his cousins.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, yeah, it's one of his cousins. And he at first says that he wants to marry Jane, and Mrs. Bennet's like, well, I'm sorry to inform you, but she's soon to be engaged, because they've got plans for Bingley and her.
Yes.
And but she goes, well, what about Elizabeth? She's a fine runners-up prize. Like, if you can't get Jane. And he's like, okay.
I like how they keep calling her like a little plain. And I guess that was a problem for Keira Knightley, is the director didn't even want to cast her at first.
Yeah, because he said she was too pretty. And, and like, I guess Elizabeth is supposed to be a little more plain. I don't know. But
yeah.
He said once, it's funny though, because like I read that and Keira Knightley was like, hey, he thought I was too pretty until he met me. She said that's like her joke. But once he met her and kind of saw her like tomboyish, like sense of humor and like the way she acts, he was like, no, you're going to be perfect. So, but look, Mrs. Bennet kind of like pushes Lizzie off on Collins and is like, puts it in his ear, like, maybe that's the one. Like, maybe you should pick her.
Yeah. And I mean, this is part of this guy's plan. Not only is he going to get a wife, but he's also going to keep his family in that house. Yeah, because like the rules of the game pretty much say like they all got to get the fuck out of there as soon as Papa Sutherland dies.
Yeah, but if this guy marries one of the daughters, there's going to be a better chance of them having a place to stay and somewhere to go.
So he's not. You're right. Like he's not all a bad guy. He's a hard guy to read and understand.
Yeah, like I don't think, like I said, it's not like he's like, and Lizzie doesn't end up with him, and she rebukes him, and it's not like he goes fucking scorched fucking earth, like fine, everybody out of the house. Like he's just like,
no, he's like, there's a third runner-up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got like 3 more daughters to pick from, but it doesn't even go that route. But he could have been a villain, and he's not really. He's just a weird dude.
Yes.
The girls are all in town. They're going to go ribbon shopping.
At a ribbon store.
At a ribbon store.
Boy, the 1700s were weird.
They didn't have like a fucking craft store back. They had like specific stores for each thing. Like
I wrote that as a note right here. They have a ribbon store?
Yeah.
Because they go in. That's all they're selling there. Mm-hmm. Ribbons.
They're just hanging from the ceilings, the walls, ribbons, as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
But they run into a soldier. His name is Wickham, and he's like Orlando Bloom from Wish is what he looks like. If you got Orlando Bloom off of a bargain site. That he's like a lieutenant, and he's introduced to Lizzie, and there's immediately like a flirtatious thing going on with her, and he seems like a charmer. Like he's a nice guy. He's sweet to the sisters.
Oh, he has game.
He's pulling coins out from behind their ears, which back in the 1700s, this guy was fucking. They probably would have burned him if they saw that.
Yeah,
this guy's using magic.
I mean, he's got way more game than Mr. Darcy.
He does, yeah. So he walks around town with them, and he walks them home, and they're walking home, and they come across Bingley and Darcy on horseback as they're traveling somewhere, and they greet each other, and Wickham and Darcy have like a weird stare down, like clearly know each other and do not like each other. Wickham asks Lizzie after this about Darcy and how long he's been in town, and she brings it up like, I saw you guys, I fucking each other. Like, what was that all about? Like, you seem pretty upset with each other. And he tells her that, he's known him his entire life, and that Wickham's father was like the director of Darcy's father's estate. Like, he took care of it, and he handled like a lot of things. And the dad loved Wickham like a son, he tells her. And then him and Darcy were like really close growing up. Like, they were like brothers. And at the end, when the father died, he gave like a substantial portion of the estate to Wickham, but then Darcy like reneged on it and took it all back.
Yeah.
And like left him with nothing.
This is like strike one.
Yeah. So, Lizzie is shocked by this, and it kind of gives her like a bad impression of Darcy, which it would to anyone. She's mentioning this to Jane afterwards, and Jane, doesn't think that Mr. Darcy would do such a thing. Like, why would he do that? The ball's tonight. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'll ask Bingley about it. She says she'll find out what's going on. So then we go to Mr. Bingley's ball. Lizzie's looking around for Wickham, but Wickham's not there. We find out that he's been detained. He has some business in the village that he had to take care of. And so he's not there.
I love they're walking in, and I don't know why I thought it was so funny when she just says, private balls are so much better than public balls. And I just turned to be 7 years old. Like, I just giggled a little bit.
CJ, it's right here in my notes. Private balls are much more pleasant than public ones, with 3 laughing face emojis after it. And I giggled like a child. You say balls, I can't help but not laugh. I'm sorry.
Got a long weekend ahead of me, and I'm supposed to get a tattoo, and this is high up on the list, this line.
I'm not Jane Austen. I laugh at balls. But we're at the party. Mr. Collins asks Lizzie for a dance, and she obliges him. And he's a very creepy little dancer. Like, he's like just giving her the weird eyes. He's like smelling her hair almost as they pass by. Like, he's just a weird, awkward little dude.
Yep.
Now Darcy comes up to her and asks her to dance, and she says yes. And then she actually says to her sister, like, did I just agree to dance with this guy? Like, I loathe this man. Why would
I swore to hate him forever.
Yeah, why would I dance with this guy?
Is this when they go into the one shot? This is a solid one shot here.
It's fucking awesome, but not yet. So we have the dance between Darcy and Elizabeth, and she grills him about Wickham, like kind of like brings it up like offhandedly without really saying what she knows, and he doesn't really give her any information. Like,
yeah, he's basically like, get out of my shed.
Yeah,
like, you got me dancing. Isn't that enough?
Yeah, and then after this, after they stop dancing, Collins sees Darcy and wants to introduce himself to him, and he says, "Oh, Lady Catherine, the woman whose estate he lives on, or his little house butts up against, Darcy's actually her nephew, and he wants to introduce himself." So he walks over, and it's a funny scene because he's just behind him, like, Mr. Darcy, and he just ignores him, like, for the longest time, then finally turns around. And when he turns around, this is when we get this amazing shot of this party. Like,
yeah.
They just go room through room, following different characters. You just see, like, Collins trying to follow Elizabeth.
They get multiple different shots of the same characters over and over. Like, it's
crazy.
Like
they're passing through. I love shit like this because
the two drunk daughters are running around with giant glasses.
Yeah, and the mom is like walking through the party, like flinging a spoon around while she's eating, like hitting people with food.
I mean, they make it a point to show that these people are kind of white trash.
Yeah,
the Bennets are a little trashy. People are laughing at them.
Yeah, and like we see, like there's a point where throughout this scene where we see the whole family like kind of running wild through the party and causing all these different, like, not chaos, but like it's chaotic. Like they're all over the place, and like there's a point where like the youngest daughter Mary's playing the piano and dad has to stop her because he's like, give somebody else a fucking turn, he says. Yeah. Like, and then we find them again later in the shot, and she's crying, and he's like consoling her because he made her stop playing. But you see, like, the family kind of causes a scene, like, wherever they're at. And we get a shot of Bingley's sister and Darcy dancing. And she says, like, I feel like at any minute they're just going to release a pig and make me chase it. Like, she's basically, these people are white trash, You go to a fair or a amusement park and you're like, oh, this family doesn't get out too often. Yeah.
Like, they are definitely...
They're fun. They're the
when
family
I was growing
hang
up,
out with.
that was my family.
Yeah, like, these people are way more fun than anybody else in the movie. Like,
I had that mom that was like, go make a scene so that I can steal a bunch of shit from this store.
But the shot ends, like, it all pans back to, like, Elizabeth in a kind of like a dark room, kind of hiding from everything and not being around anyone. And then we see them leaving in a carriage at the end of the party. And it's daylight, so it makes me think...
They were there all night.
It's daylight, and it makes me think they were there all night, because...
Yeah, Dad's drunk. I thought Dad was going to die right here, because she keeps saying, wake up, and hitting him. And I was like, oh shit, like he is probably like 39 or 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to make it.
But as they're pulling away, Bingley's sister and Darcy, and I think Bingley are all on the balcony watching them drive away as the mom's like, goodbye, and like screaming and like waving. And the sister's like, you can't be serious. Like, this is like the point where they're like, yeah, this family they're not upper class like we
Heathens.
are. Yeah. Next morning at breakfast, Collins comes in and pretty much shuts down breakfast. Like, everybody's getting ready to eat, and he comes in and he asks for a private audience with Lizzie. And instead of being like, yeah, you can use like the room over there, they all get up and leave the table while all the food's out.
Yeah. And
they all go outside. And
I love fucking Donald Sutherland in these scenes, because he's the only one that seems outside of all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So like you can see he's like, I just wanted to read the paper. Like he's got the paper out and he's like, this chump that's going to steal my house is also going to steal my breakfast. Yeah. Like I have 5 daughters. There's so little time to enjoy life.
But they all get up, and Collins gives Lizzie like the tiniest, saddest little flower, and gets down on one knee, and he asks her to marry him.
And she starts lacing up the shoes.
Yeah, like Lizzie's like, no, I won't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't make you happy. You won't make me happy. There's no way I want to marry you. And then the door falls open, and all the sisters are behind it listening in. They're all laughing. Like,
that's an on-running joke.
Yeah, I felt bad for Collins, honestly, because like they're all laughing at him, and he's just basically been like turned down. And then Lizzie just runs. There's a lot of points in the movie where Lizzie just runs away from stuff.
She books it.
Yeah, she runs a lot in this movie.
She literally passes a horse in this scene.
So she runs off, and the mom goes to Mr. Bennett, and she's like, you have to talk to Lizzie. Like, she just turned down Mr. Collins. Like, you have to talk some sense into her. And they go out by this little pond, and they find Lizzie there, and the mom is just like, if you don't marry Mr. Collins, like, I'll never speak to you again. And she's basically like, tell him, Pa. And he's like, well, one way or the other, you'll have to decide which parent you don't want to speak to, because if you do marry him, I'll never speak to you again. And then
he grabbed a 17th century mic out of his pocket for the lake.
Yeah. And the mom is like, what? And Elizabeth is so happy. And you can tell, like, the dad really wants her to be happy, and he knows that she's not going to be happy with this guy. And he's okay with her not marrying this guy. He's like, we'll figure it out. Like, you deserve better, and there's like a guy out there for you, and it's not this creepy little guy with the weird mullet.
Yeah, there is no mistaking that Lizzie is the favorite daughter, like, by far.
Yeah.
Like, she's the one that's got a personality and kind of thoughts of her own, and isn't into this whole thing, which he isn't into the whole thing either.
Yeah. Then we get back to the house, and a letter comes from Bingsley, and it's for Jane, and they're leaving town. Like, they're up, and they've shut down the mansion. They're going back to London, wherever, to see Darcy's sister for whatever reason, and they're just out. Like, they're not going to be at Neverland or Neverfield anymore. So this upsets Jane, obviously. Jane decides to go off with an aunt and uncle to London, just to, like, basically...
I love they actually show them leaving the house, and then it cuts in another, like, crazy sweeping. It's not a long one shot, but of them going to the house, and everybody, like, the workers there are mothballing it. Like, they're covering everything with sheets.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no, like, hoity-toity rich people there anymore. They're still, like, proper as hell.
Yeah.
Like, one arm behind their back, walking around, flipping these sheets. And you know damn right, they'd have been like, we're partying here tonight.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. I got a cousin. He's got 3 fucking biggest watermelons you've ever seen. Like, we're gonna rock. He had to trade a child for 3 watermelons.
Jesus. But so we finally leave, and Jane goes off to London, basically just to get over her heartbreak. Like, she's just gonna, like, a little mini vacation to go.
No, she's going to show him up, like, to appear.
But she never, like, sees him there. I thought that it was like just to get her mind off of things.
No, because she says, like, we're gonna make sure when you get there that there's, like, an announcement that you're in town, so he knows you're there.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. And then we find out that Charlotte, the woman from earlier that was like a family friend, and they keep making references to the fact that Charlotte's very plain. Like, the mom says, it's too bad that she's so plain. Maybe she'd find a good husband. She's going to marry Collins.
Yes.
And so like Collins wasn't even like, all right, let me try one of the other 3 sisters. He was like, no, this family isn't for me. So he goes off, and he ends up...
See how they act at parties?
Yeah, he ends up asking Charlotte to marry him.
I start putting half the buffet into Ziploc bags. I just keep thinking about all the white trash shit my family used to do growing up.
Lizzie goes off to visit Charlotte after she's gone away to marry Collins, because like there's like, this is like the only time and I thought for sure when this movie started there'd be a voiceover, and there wasn't, to my surprise. This is the one time we kind of get one, because Lizzie's actually writing a letter to Charlotte, and we get to hear it. And she's just saying how, since you left and Jane left, like, I don't really have anybody to talk to, and like, I would love to come visit you. So she goes to this estate where she's living with Collins. And it's great, because like, they walk in and Collins is just talking about his garden, and Charlotte's like, here, come with me. And she takes Lizzie away into like a private room. Collins is still talking, and then realizes that everyone has just left him. And he just seems like, even Charlotte doesn't want to be around this guy, but they're married.
Guy. Yeah.
We find out that Lady Catherine like sends an invite for them all to come to dinner. This is the very rich woman who lives in the backyard, or he lives in her backyard. And they show up to the mansion, and it's Judi Dench.
Out of nowhere.
Contractually obligated to be in all
Judi
these
Dench.
movies. Yeah, I mean, I should have known.
Yeah.
Should have just assumed she was going to be in it.
She's amazing.
She just pops up in like small roles in like everything that's British.
It's got to be hard to act against Judi Dench.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she kind of just has like a...
She owns shit. She's a dame for a reason.
She's like a
She's got a title.
4'6", 80-year-old woman that's got the look of a bear. Like you walk in the room, like, it'd be like looking at a bear.
She's got that BDE.
Yeah.
Big Dench energy. Like she's your big dame
That's
energy.
Right. Big dame energy. There you go.
But Mr. Darcy is there, and because Mr. Darcy's the nephew, so like this surprises Lizzie that he's even there. And they keep kind of running into each other.
And I love they explain it a little bit later, but Judi Dench has got a daughter, and every time they show this daughter, like I'm expecting her to like lift up like two little toy hands and clap or something. Like she's actually a pretty young girl.
Yeah.
But they are treating her like she's got the plague.
Yeah, well, she is sick.
Like,
there is something wrong with her. They bring up the fact that she's sick later on, but I don't know what's wrong with her.
I don't know what it is. Probably she learned how to read or something. They think that she's like
I don't know.
possessed. But like every time they show
She's got
her
ghosts
or
in her
reference
blood.
her, they do this weird like zoom in, weird angle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what am I supposed to be afraid of?
They have dinner, and Lady Catherine she's shitty. Like she's mean to Lizzie, and she's kind of talking to her about about her family situation. She kind of looks down on them, and she's talking about how the younger sisters are out in society, and how can that be if the older sisters aren't married yet? It sets like a bad example. Talking about how they didn't have like a good upbringing. And Lizzie's just kind of giving it right back to her. Like, no nonsense, no bullshit. Like, my family, we're good. Like, the way we were raised, like, the way we are. Like, we like it the way it is. Thank you very much.
She is never going to, like, kowtow to anybody. Like, it is always a sparring match. Every conversation.
Yeah. After dinner, she basically forces Elizabeth to play the piano. And she tells her she's not good at it. And she's like, I don't care. Like, I demand it. She goes over and she plays poorly. Like, she's not a great piano player, but better than, like, you or I could play, I think. Like, she's putting the tune together. She knows a little bit. And Darcy comes over to her and actually compliments her on her piano playing, even though it's clearly bad. And then he has a friend there, which I didn't catch this guy's name. And he asks about, what it was like meeting Darcy for the first time. And she brings up the fact that, he was at a ball with all these beautiful women and wouldn't dance at all. And he tells her, which I relate with Darcy, because he's like, he's like, I didn't know anyone. And she's like, oh, a ball's a bad place to meet people. And he was like, I'm not good at conversing with people I've never met. And I'm like, same, guy, same. Like, I go to a big party, like, I don't talk to people. Like, I
love it.
Oh, really? See, I'm just not, like, I'm not that guy.
Sometimes I have to stop myself and to think, am I the annoying guy right now?
But after this, like, Lizzie's at the little cottage where Collins lives. And she's alone, and Mr. Darcy just walks in, and he just stands there and pretty much stares at her awkwardly for like 2 minutes without saying anything.
Yeah, I wrote down, this guy's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like she got him, man.
Yeah, and like, clearly, and that's why I said this guy's a good actor, because you can just tell, like, he just wants to say something so bad, but can't say it. And she's kind of like, Collins and Charlotte aren't here, and he's like, okay, well, good day then, and like leaves, but he was clearly there to see her, but couldn't muster anything up.
This is a real thing, man. Guys get into this. They can fall in love in a way that they're just screwed up. They're like, you know what? Logic doesn't matter anymore. I'm just going to go stand behind somebody creepily for 2 minutes and not talk.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll go write like a weird emo song. This guy's super emo.
A weird emo poem.
Yes.
They go to church, and like we see Collins as the pastor. He's like giving a sermon. And Lizzie is seated next to Darcy's friend. And she's kind of like questioning, why you would be friends with this guy. And he's like, oh, he's the most loyal friend you could ever have. He's like, he recently just saved a very good friend of his from making a horrible mistake. And she's, well, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh, one of his friends was set to marry someone, and the family was just very low class, and it would have looked bad, and he talked him out of it. And she's like, oh shit, like this fucking guy's the reason that like Bingley left. and he broke Jane's heart.
It feels like a flimsy plot because it really felt like everybody in this movie knew each other.
Yeah.
So even if you don't know each other, you know the other people. Like, this guy should know who he's talking to.
And I thought it was the sister that like forced them apart too. So it seemed odd that like it was Darcy, but again, Elizabeth just runs like through the rain, just books it, like runs off into like some place, and Darcy follows her, and he tells her that he's in love with her. He's like, I've never felt this way before. I want to ask for your hand. And she turns him down, and she's like, because she knows about what he did to Bingley and Jane. And he's basically just like, I did it because your family has a lack of propriety, is what he says.
Oh, he lays it out. He says all the wrong things.
Yeah, he does. But he's honest. He's like, I didn't think it was a good idea for him. And there's also a running theme where Bingley and Jane are both kind of shy. Yes. And like, they don't know for sure the other one actually is interested in them, and neither of them will come out and say it. So, like, he actually brings that up. He's like, your sister just didn't seem that interested, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And she's like, she's very interested. Is she just shy and awkward? And, like, Bingley wasn't very upfront or forthright with his feelings. Like, no one could tell what was going on, but, like, she very much liked him and, like, would have married him.
And this is where, like, she doesn't realize it yet, but he's a romantic. In a world where everybody's just put together with their cousins to keep land or whatever, like, he cares about what his friend thinks about his soon-to-be wife.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of references to this, that Lizzie is like a super romantic.
Yeah.
She will never get married because she actually wants to love somebody.
Yeah.
This also has a really great couple of seconds scene where he's about to kiss her.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Like, I was on the edge of my seat there for a second. Then I was like, I'm really lame. And I sat back. I hate who I've become.
We see her back at the cottage, very sad looking, and Darcy shows up again just to leave her a letter. And then he rides away. And she reads this letter, and he basically says, like, in the letter, I just want to clear up a few things, like, specifically, like, the two things in question about me. And he tells her that, the story about Wickham, that he's not a good guy. Like, whenever his father passed away, he demanded money, like his pay, and he was given, like, this lump sum and gambled it all away. And then started asking for more money. When they wouldn't give it to him, he just disappeared. Then he showed back up years later and tried to marry Darcy's daughter because she was worth a lot of money. And then when that didn't work out, he like disappeared again. So he's just, a bad guy. And then he says that he stopped the marriage in interest of his friend. Like, he was trying to look out for his buddy. He's like, it may not have been right, but I was trying to look out for him and do what was right by him.
Look, bros before maidens. All right.
Lizzie goes back home. And, Jane comes home from London. She says that, like, she never even saw Bingley while she was there, but she's over him. Like, she's totally over it.
It'd have been great. Like, if this was shot today, she'd have had a new neck tattoo. She'd have been like, I let loose over there.
Hair's dyed, a couple piercings. Like
the people that go to Jamaica for a week and they come back with braids and shit. Oh, yeah, man.
We find out one of the other sisters is getting taken back to London with the family with the family members that brought Jane back, and she's going to go to Brighton to like study, I guess. I don't know. And the other sister is very upset about it, crying.
The drinking buddy's gone.
Yeah. Lizzie lets Jane know that she saw Darcy, and Jane asks if he mentioned Bingley, and she says no. Like, she lies about it to her sister and doesn't tell him what was going on.
Yeah, they have a good scene. She has a good scene with Donald Sutherland where she's like, you can't let our other sister go back with them, and he's just like, no, she could. Maybe she'll learn some shit.
Yeah.
And he really like makes it a point where he's like, look, you're the one that turned out right, but like these other guys, they need some lessons.
Yeah. Lizzie's spending some time with her aunt and uncle, and I'm not sure where this is. Like, she's traveling with them on like a little vacation.
I wrote, why did she go with the aunt and uncle? But she does.
Yeah. The aunt brings up the fact that they're near Mr. Darcy's estate, and it's like this big, beautiful home. And apparently, in this time period, if the owner of the home wasn't home, they would just open it up for like visitors. to tour.
I mean, he lives at like Neverland Ranch.
It's
What
this
is
big,
this?
beautiful, like it's a
I was
fucking
expecting
castle.
Prince to come out and greet them.
But and Lizzie tries to tell her aunt and uncle that she knows Darcy, and they just won't believe it because he's like such a wealthy, like high-standing member of society. Like they can't believe that Lizzie even knows this guy. So they go and they take a tour of the house, and they're Lizzie's kind of hinting around, like, is he here? Because she's worried she's going to run into him. And they're like, no, he's gone away. She hears the piano playing, and she knows it's the sister. So she goes and like she's creeping, like she's peeking through like a cracked door.
Yeah.
And then Darcy pops into frame, like he's home surprised, like the sister wasn't expecting him. And then the door creaks, and they turn and see Lizzie.
They go into full horror movie mode where it just like zooms in on her face real quick.
And then she fucking runs again. Like she's always running. She only gets to like outside to the carriage, and Darcy comes out and talks to her. And at this point, like she's read the letter. She knows like, his reasoning behind stuff. It's kind of softened things a little bit where she's not like, I fucking hate this guy. But it's very awkward because he asked her to marry him. She said no. He asks where they're staying and asks if he can take her back to the village.
Where are you staying? Here?
Yeah. She says she's staying in like this village at a certain place, and he says, well, can I escort you back to the village? She turns him down. There's a scene later, like right after this, where she's at whatever inn they're staying in. The aunt and uncle are downstairs like having dinner, and she comes to walk in, and Darcy's there. So he like found out where they were staying. He goes there. He invites them to come for dinner and talks them out of leaving, talks them into staying for another day.
They're all starstruck. Like this is like for them, they're not meeting a prince, they are meeting Prince.
Yeah.
Like they are happy that he is there. Can't believe he's talking to them.
Mr. Darcy's a big deal. They go out for dinner. They go to dinner with Mr. Darcy. They actually spend the day with him because the uncle goes fishing with them. Lizzie gets introduced to the sister, and they're hanging out. And then after the day's over, Lizzie gets a letter from Jane, and then she comes out crying, and it's because Lydia, the second youngest daughter, the one that was upset that she didn't get to go to London, ran off with Wickham. And this is like a scandal because they're not actually married. So in this time period, if you just went off with a guy but weren't marrying the guy, it like ruined your family.
Yeah.
So this is like devastating news for everyone involved.
It is like something like this is how you end up destitute, I guess.
Yeah. Darcy feels guilty because he's like, if I would have told you about Wickham sooner, like, or, I could have stopped this. Let me help you try to find them. We find out there's an uncle going to London to try to track them down. Lizzie feels guilty because she knew Wickham was a bad guy, but didn't tell anybody that she had talked to Darcy about any of this stuff. The mom is just beside herself because now
she's
she can't.
bedridden.
Yeah, she's bedridden, and she's like, "Who will take any of you now? Because like no one will marry you because of the scandal."
Because it's like also like it's already a big deal that like they're going out of order. Like the oldest daughter's supposed to get married first, and then like it's everybody's supposed to wait their turn. And old timey roles are crazy, man.
But we get a letter. A letter comes, and I think it's Jane or Lizzie says, "Oh, this is Uncle's handwriting." They could tell who it was from. They run and find Dad, and he reads it. And Wickham has agreed to marry Lydia for like a dowry of £100 a year.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, "Wow, your uncle must have really laid into him because that's super cheap. Like we got away with a pretty good deal here." And he agrees to it. So now Mom's happy because the marriage pretty much like rights everything, where the girls aren't going to be considered pariahs now, and we can marry them off. Wickham and Lydia come home to visit. We find out that Wickham is getting transferred to some other part of England, so Lydia's going to go with him. And Wickham brings up the fact that, or no, Lydia does. Lydia mentions Darcy to Lizzie, and she's like, "What do you mean? Like, when did you see Mr. Darcy?" And she tells him like, "He's the one that found us, and he's the one that's paying for the wedding. He paid for the wedding.
Yeah, he paid $10,000.
Yeah, he's paying the dowry, like
the same price as Spain.
Yeah,
back then.
He's paying the dowry." So Lizzie's like, "Oh shit! Like he fixed all this. Like he saved my family." You know. And then they leave. The ladies are in town doing some shopping, probably going to the ribbon store again, and they find out from a guy in town that Bingley's coming back.
Yeah. This actually sets up a pretty interesting set of scenes right here. I thought so.
I love this. So they find out Bingley's coming back. Jane's like, "I don't even care." Like she's trying to play it off. It's not a big deal. They all go back to the house. And we see Bingley and Darcy like riding horses, or they're walking, and they're walking down the path to the house. And everybody sees them out the window, and they get alerted to the fact that they're there.
I love it because they show before that even happens, they zone across the room and it is wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like there's like food scraps sitting all over. It looks like they had been partying for a few days. Mom's passed out on the couch with food on her belly like an otter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was awesome.
So they go on this tear where they're like cleaning up the house, like this fast-paced scene where they're like moving things around. And then the maid comes in and she's like, Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy here to see you. And then they walk in, all of them are sitting proper, each in like a separate chair. The room's all clean. Like, they got it all together in like seconds. And Bingley's just like lets everybody know that they're in town for like a shoot, which I think is just like hunting of some kind.
They're shooting birds because they're kind of treating them a little cold here. She says, "Oh, I'm glad to hear you've shot all the birds at your estate and you've come to take some of ours off our hands."
Yeah.
You know, Mom says that to him. Yeah. And it's like, ooh.
But they come in and like basically just make their intentions known why they're in town. They leave. And then we get a scene outside the cottage of like Darcy basically trying to pump Bingley up. Like, we don't know what he's saying, but you can see him like just body language wise. He's like talking to him and Bingley's pacing back and forth. And Darcy's being a good wingman. Yeah, and he's actually talking to Darcy as if Darcy is the mom. Yeah, like, oh yeah, Mrs. Bennet, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So they go back in, or Bingley comes back in and asks to speak to Jane alone. He proposes to her. And all the girls are outside the door listening again, but she says yes. Darcy walks off looking sad. Don't get married to Rosamund Pike, man. I've seen a documentary. It's a bad idea. And then we get our last like one take shot, which this one is just like the exterior of the house, but it goes like window to window. And you see like each person talking, like the mom and dad in bed talking about like how happy they are that Jane's marrying Bingley. We see some of the sisters. Then we see Jane and Lizzie like talking in their room. And then there's like a knock at the door. And it's super late. Everybody like gets up and is freaking out because it's late. They go downstairs. It's fucking Judi Dench. And she like busts in basically and she's like, I need to speak to Elizabeth. She's like, I'm here for the best scene in the movie. Yeah. She comes in and she wants to speak to Lizzie alone. And she's basically Judi Dench she just shows up. She's just like, look, I know you guys were trying to do a cute thing here, but I've decided I'm just going to own this portion of your fucking movie. She commands respect. She comes in and she says she wants to speak to Lizzie alone, and she's heard rumors that Lizzie and Mr. Darcy are engaged, and that Mr. Darcy has been promised to her daughter, the one that's got something wrong with her, like something weird going on with her. Yeah, and she's like, they've been. This is since they were childhood. They've been like betrothed to each other. They're like cousins too. Yeah, they're cousins too. And she's like, "Are you engaged to Mr. Darcy?" And she's like, "No." And she's like, "Will you promise to never enter into such an agreement?" And she's like, "No, I won't promise that. And you've insulted me in my home. Now get the hell out, Judi Dench." Yeah. And like really fires back at her, and Judi Dench is furious, but she leaves. And then the next scene is like the foggy morning, and Lizzie's just walking around outside, and we see Darcy walk up to her. He looks like he's been walking all night, man. He looks rough. It really does. And she says, she knows what she did for Lydia and Jane. And because he wants to make up for, he heard that his aunt came to visit, and he's like, what can I do to make up for it? Because like that was a pretty shitty thing. And she says, everything you've done so far, like you don't need to do anything. And then he kind of says, like, I'm still in love with you. Like, my feelings haven't changed since like 6 months ago when we spoke and I asked you to marry me. He's like, if your feelings are still the same, that's fine. You don't have to say anything. I'll just leave. He's like, but if your feelings have changed, like, I want to know, like, I'm still in love with you. And she kisses him on his knuckle. No one ever kisses on the mouth in this movie. You notice that? No way, man. That's like kiss on the knuckle. If somebody would have seen that, they'd have been fucking thrown out of town. That's fucking third base right there. She might as well have shown her ankle. But she kisses him on the knuckle, and they almost kiss again. Like, they come face to face, but never kiss. Next scene, Darcy walks out of a door, and it's like the dad's like little parlor, like office area. Yeah. He walks out, and Elizabeth goes in. Another great scene. Yeah, I love this scene. The old timers in this movie, man, they really own it. Yeah. And, he's like, I thought you hated this guy. Like, what the hell's going on? She's like, no. She's like, I thought I did too. I was entirely wrong about him. She tells him all the secrets. Yeah. And it's funny because he's like, I had no idea. And she starts talking about how, like, they're so similar. And Dad just starts laughing. He's like, you really do love this guy. Like, I can tell from the way you're talking. And he gives his consent. And he just says, like, basically, like, I don't want to give you up Like, I didn't want to, like, just give you to anybody, but, like, this guy is the guy. Like,
you're my favorite of the people in this house, basically.
Yeah. He says, I could not have parted with you to anyone less worthy, basically. And she walks out and is all happy.
And they handed him an Oscar and he walked away.
Yeah, we don't, and, like, the movie ends on Sutherland. Like, she leaves the room. We don't ever see her and Darcy together again, which I think is kind of a wild ending.
Well, did you know this is the British version? So when it was released in America, they actually do have another scene where it shows them going in to be married.
Oh, really?
And it kind of zooms out from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess like on Amazon, or I watched it on Max.
Yeah.
And I guess they just had the British version.
Oh, okay.
It has a few small differences.
Okay. But yeah, like she walks out and then Dad is like in tears. He's like happy crying. And he just says like, if any young men come for Kitty or Mary, send them in. I'm quite at my leisure. And then the movie just cuts to the credits, and it's just Sutherland smiling and happy and little tears of joy.
Well, in the end, isn't that true in these kind of movies? That as long as the guy's happy,
no.
Like is that? I mean, it was the 1700s.
It's just, I thought it was a very strange ending. Like not strange, but it was just kind of refreshing. Like I don't know, I didn't like. I liked seeing Dad at the end. Like it made me happy.
Yeah.
It was a fun ending.
I mean, he's probably going to be like 41, 42 years old by the end of this. Probably not long for this world. He's going to catch a hangnail and be dead.
Meanwhile, like Sutherland was probably like in his 70s when he was shooting this, but he probably was supposed to be a 40-year-old man. But that's it, CJ. Any grand gestures, flowers?
Yeah, I have this fear that we're not doing this justice because we are missing out on the other 9 hours of this movie that they could have made. But
yeah, but I think it's good we watch this one first because from what I've heard, people that have read the books, people that saw the miniseries, it's way more faithful to the books, didn't care for this movie as much.
Yeah.
So like, I'm glad I got to go into it without knowing the other stuff and just to enjoy it for what it was, as opposed to trying to compare it to like something that came before it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a novel as much as it's a tome, right? Like it's 400 or 500 pages of heavy dialogue.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could have sat through 6 hours of this, maybe one day.
Yeah.
But
the miniseries has Colin Firth, who I absolutely love. So, I mean, I think...
Is he Mr. Darcy?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, so I think I could possibly get on board for that.
I can see that a bit more, because emo Mr. Darcy was rough.
Yeah.
Like, I still, even by the end, I'm like, I don't get what anybody... I mean, sure, he's like 6'8" and worth $1 billion, but okay, now I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I get why we like him.
Yeah. Not $1 billion. From what I read, I think 1.8 million a year is what this guy brings in by today's standards. It was 5,000 pounds a year back then.
Which can barely get you like a house in the shitty part of town right now. Do you see where he lives? Like
1.8 million a year?
Those marble statues, I actually paused it to look at a few of them to be like, is that real or not? I couldn't tell.
I could probably do pretty well for myself for 1.8 million a year.
Oh yeah, in Pittsburgh you could. You'd live like a king.
My only grand gesture for this movie, I'd like to know if Mr. Darcy was based on a real person, or like someone Jane Austen knew, if there were guys like this back then. I think Mr. Darcy's on the spectrum. Like this guy, everything about Mr. Darcy screams autistic to me.
You think?
Like he doesn't like a lot of people, but he found the one person that he likes and can tolerate, and he absolutely falls in love with her. He hates social situations. He's socially awkward. But he's very smart. He's very passionate about the things he knows about. Like, it just, to me, like, I wonder if, like, this guy was based on a real person, if, like, this person at the time was autistic and they just didn't know what that was then. And it came off as just, like, a brooding, like, I know autistic people, and, like, this is very much...
He gave you the vibe.
He very much comes off as, like, autistic. And I just wonder.
It's a hot take, but I get it. I get it.
It's just if you've ever met like autistic people or like hanging around with them, like this is
never once.
No,
I'm just kidding.
This is how they are. I mean,
I have a note here on the same kind of vein. Is Mr. Collins?
They don't know how to flirt. Like autistic people do not know how to flirt. This is like a real thing. Like they don't know how to take compliments.
Yeah,
they're just very much like it's an interesting thing, like that. Mr. Darcy just screamed autistic to me, and that in no way is that a bad thing. It's just like curiosity has me wondering, like, back then, like
if he was based off a real guy, was that guy like that?
And like if people were like this back then, it was probably autism, and just no one fucking knew it, and they were just like, oh, what an asshole. But like, really, the guy was on the spectrum. That's That's mine.
I actually had a note similar to that on Mr. Collins, because there's a point.
He's another one, too.
I was like, is he gay?
This is 1700s Love on the Spectrum, is what this is. Oh, is he gay? Yeah. No, because he could have very well been autistic as well.
Well, because every time he talks about pulling in a wife, it's about his duty.
Well,
you know what I mean? And like, he doesn't seem like he's really interested in it as much as he is.
Plus, he's a priest.
This is what I gotta do.
Plus, he's a priest and super religious.
I mean, that's just stereotyping there. All right, we're going too far.
Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of things. But yeah, that's mine.
I like my nuts to be private, not public.
Shall we chick flick it to a dick flick it?
I got a great one for this, and I know you didn't think of this one.
I didn't think of shit. So mine, I'm just adding zombies. Because I really could.
That is weak sauce there.
I've had some good ones recently. I'm going to go ahead and just take the easy way out on this one because I didn't really have a lot of time with everything going on.
I think you're going to have a lot to say on mine.
And work. All right, yeah, please tell me yours.
We're going to replace Mr. Darcy and Liz with another amazing Liz, Miss Elizabeth. And he could be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I started thinking about this. What is the exact opposite of this prim and proper? I'm talking Florida white trash wrestling, man.
Yeah.
And, like, Miss Elizabeth, now, for the folks at home that haven't followed wrestling their entire life, the Miss Elizabeth Randy Savage love story was the love story of our time in the 80s, man.
Is Wickham going to be the Hulkster?
Yes, exactly.
Because he kind of ends up being a piece of shit in the long run. We didn't know.
I want to replace every person in this cast with pro wrestlers.
I love it.
And I want this movie made where
Dad's Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Absolutely. So you have these people that are like, you know, they're the, what do they call that? The people that walk the wrestlers? Valets.
Yeah.
They're the managers, the valets of the wrestlers. Yeah. And then these people that they're trying to marry off are all like their prize horse big time wrestlers. And that way, when they're like verbally sparring, no way, man. They're actually throwing each other off of shit.
Yeah.
Like there are broken tables all over the places.
Oh, wow.
You know, they're beating each other with goats and livestock, all the cool shit.
Pride and Prejudice, brother.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Love story of our time for a love story of their time.
I love it. All right. What's Nicolas Cage it?
Oh, I want him to be Judi Dench's daughter. Every time they zoomed in on this poor young girl, and like, just the creepiest shots of this girl. And I'd like to think that when she was sitting in the theater watching the debut of this movie, she's like, what the fuck did they do to me?
Yeah.
Like, they just told me to sit there and stare at shit, and now they're making me look like I am tainted.
Yeah.
So I want that to be Nicolas Cage in this movie. No lines whatsoever, just in the corner getting a creepy zoom in.
Love it. Mine, I don't want to say I took the easy way out on this one, but this one's very short. Donald Sutherland, just because I thought he was great in this. He is in Lord of War, just as a voice. He's not actually in the movie. He does the voice of a general.
You've never connected to Lord of War before.
Yeah,
what a great movie.
And Nicolas Cage is in Lord of War. So.
Oh, man, that is
That's mine.
Amazingly good Nick Cage movie.
It
Underrated.
Is. They're all gems, for one reason or another. Let's rate it.
This one's tough, man. I think I'm going with a 4.
Yeah?
I think I'm going high on this.
Okay.
Like, this movie, I hate myself that I got into this movie the way that I did.
Wow.
I thought about breaking it up over 2 nights, and I just was like, no, I'm going to watch this whole thing because I can't just go back to listening to Yinzer accents all day and then hop right back into the old-timey British.
That would be tough.
So it was, I thought this was a great movie. What's that?
Going down to the ball in that.
Yeah. And I think the 4 that I'm giving this is probably the one that I know is the most wrong, because I'll probably one day maybe see this miniseries, or I'll never read the book. Let's just admit that right now, and see what this was supposed to be. But for the canned situation that I saw, I liked it. Keira Knightley's great. You can see why she's famous. Judi Dench is, when you see Judi Dench, it's the same way people talk about Meryl Streep. Yeah. Where, like, you ever hear Leonardo DiCaprio talk about Meryl Streep, and you realize, like, this guy is a fanboy. Yeah. Like, he's like, I am Leonardo fucking DiCaprio, And when I get into the room with this woman, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I would be scared to be in the same room with her.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland, crazy. Just so good. Everybody in this cast is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going 4 too. Honestly, I'm
Fucking A.
surprised because I was going to go 4. I knew that going in.
Give me an oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah. I knew that going in. I mean, the cream of the crop always rises to the top, right?
That's
4,
right.
4 stars. Same reasons as you said. I mean, first of all, beautiful. Like, this movie is just shot beautifully. Like, it was just nice to look at. Those one-take shots were fucking phenomenal. That one on the ball. Like, do yourself a favor. If you're not going to watch this movie, find that scene. Because that shit gets me so fucking excited when I see it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I love stuff like that. And just what it takes to pull something like that off. Like, the cinematographer, fucking chef's kiss. Like, good stuff.
Yes.
Like, the score was really good. The acting. This was actually nominated for 4 Oscars, which is funny because, like, I don't remember this movie coming out. I don't remember shit about it.
Never once.
But, like, Keira Knightley got nominated for Best Actress, didn't win, but deserved it, I think. She was great in this. Like,
Yes.
so good. I
think the mom should get some
like,
props.
She's the mom. Everybody in this is great.
Yeah.
Like, the cast is phenomenal. The guy that plays Darcy, like I said, he conveys so much without doing much. Like, there's a couple scenes where he, like, touches her hand and basically, like, recoils and, like, I don't know if you noticed, like, it's like a big thing online, like Mr. Darcy's hand jerks.
Yes.
Like, where he, like, touches her hand and is just like, oh God, like, I felt it. Like, I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel it. Like,
Oh God, that scene in the rain where he's like about to kiss her.
yeah. Like,
And you can see like micro movements in his face.
yeah, like, this guy is just fucking quivering with love.
You
like,
gotta watch Succession now because he quivers with a lot of other weird things in that.
But yeah, like, he's just great. And, like, just everybody's really good in this. Like, just the acting is phenomenal. Sutherland was great. Doesn't even need to be English. Like, he's one of the only 2 British people in the movie. Didn't even try to put on a British accent. Didn't fucking matter because he's Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Like, he's just that good. And his voice is just, he's got so much gravitas. Like, he doesn't need to be fucking English. Like,
For sure.
it's just, he's just good. But yeah, I dug this movie. Like you said, I went into it thinking, like, even on the way here, I was like, this movie isn't made for me, but I'm going to give it a 4. Fuck that. I liked it. Like, I may have gone into this movie being like, this movie isn't for me. It's a good fucking story. It's a good fucking movie.
Yeah. I don't see myself seeing it again.
No, but it has made me want to watch that miniseries. Believe it or not.
It was hard enough to get 2 hours in this
Yeah, I
week.
know,
So
yeah, that's
like
the
that
thing.
miniseries, like you ever kind of just hope that you break a leg one day?
Yeah.
And you're
yeah.
laid up in the hospital for a week and
Yeah,
you're like, you know what? I'm going to watch all of Sex and the City and then the miniseries for this.
Yeah. If anything like that ever happens, we'll do that. But yeah, we'll have to break our legs at the same time. So it'll be like a freak accident.
We're going to go drinking one day. You're going to wake up tied up in the basement. I feel like you're going to watch all the things you've always wanted to watch.
Fucking
buddy.
misery, my ass. Just break my leg with a
I'll hobble
sledgehammer.
you so you can watch your favorite shows.
Yeah. That doesn't sound so bad. All right. But yeah, 4 stars from both of us. How about that?
Rock and roll.
All right. Well, I guess we should roll one for next time.
Yeah. What are we up to now?
We are at 172.
172. All right. We have number
1.
Number 1. How's that happen? What is it?
Well, CJ, number 1, this isn't the first time we've rolled number 1. Because number 1 was Dirty Dancing.
What is it now?
Dirty Dancing 2, Havana Nights. Yes. Okay, we're watching the sequel to Dirty Dancing. I don't know. I do think, like, when we watched the first one that I remembered seeing something about how, like, Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey might have cameos in this. Or at least, like, mentioned. But other than that, I don't know shit about it. And I'm sure it's fucking terrible. Like, there's no way it's not terrible.
If they don't have a single abortion storyline, this isn't going to match up at all.
Let's see if we have the time of our lives a second time.
I can't believe we rolled that so fast.
Yeah, that is wild. All right, well, as I say every week, please like us, subscribe to us, tell your friends, tell your family, tell that cousin you're thinking about marrying about us, because that's how we grow the listenership and get more listeners on the podcast. Like and subscribe, do all the things. Follow us on Facebook at You've Got Mails. CJ's making that sweet, sweet meme every week. I can't wait to see the Pride and Prejudice one. Sure it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
And email us at you've.gotmails@yahoo.com or find us on Facebook and send us a message on Messenger. Germany, we're still waiting to hear from you. Chile, you're coming on strong. Just binged the shit out of this podcast, and we appreciate you for it. So please tell us how you found us in Chile. Yeah, because that interests me. Like, I don't know how
tariffs on this shit.
I don't know how such a thing happens where someone in Chile finds us and likes us enough to listen to all of us. Yeah, I don't even like us that much. But please, anyone, Germany, Chile, Alberta, the good old US of A, wherever you're at.
Heck yeah.
Send us a message. Let us know what you're doing, what you're thinking.
How you found us. Southern states.
If you got any suggestions for movies to put on the list, if we haven't got them on there already, we'll add them. We're always looking for new ones if you got a favorite. So other than that, all that good stuff. Until next time when we discuss Dirty Dancing Dose, Havana Nights. Stay romantic. Don't be shit to each other.
You know what I'm going to do tonight?
What?
I'm going to watch No Holds Barred with the old Hulk Hogan movie and see how it matches up with Pride and Prejudice.
I think you'll be disappointed.